Welcome, dear listeners, to another one of our riveting Bible stories. Today we'll embark on a journey back in time to a place of wonder and divine revelation. Imagine standing in the desert, the sun beating down, when suddenly you come across a bush engulfed in flames that is not consumed. This is where our story begins, with Moses and the miraculous burning bush. In the next 30 minutes, we'll dive into this incredible event, exploring its significance, the lessons it imparts and the enduring legacy it has left on history and faith. The Middle Eastern desert presents a harsh yet awe-inspiring landscape, characterized by its expansive stretches of sand, jagged rocks, and sparse vegetation. The sun casts a relentless glow over the terrain, creating a tapestry of shadows and light that dances across the dunes. This is a land where survival demands resilience and resourcefulness, and yet, it is also a land steeped in ancient history and spiritual significance. Amidst this backdrop we find Moses, a humble shepherd. Long before he would become a legendary figure in religious history, Moses led a simple, quiet life, tending to his flock. He is a man of deep contemplation, shaped by the solitude of the desert and the responsibilities of shepherding, which require both patience and vigilance. Mount Horeb, known as the Mountain of God, rises majestically from the desert floor. Its towering presence dominates the horizon, an eternal sentinel watching over the barren landscape. The mountain's rocky slopes and hidden caves hold an air of mystery, drawing those who seek spiritual enlightenment and divine encounters. For Moses, Mount Horeb is more than just a geographical feature. It is a sacred space, a place where the earthly and the divine intersect. The mountain serves as a silent witness to the unfolding events that will shape not only Moses' destiny, but the destiny of an entire people. Moses was tending to the flock of his father-in-law Jethro in the land of Midian. He came across a bush that was on fire, but was not consumed by the flames. Curious, Moses approached the bush, and from it, God called out to him. God introduced himself as the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and explained to Moses that he had heard the cries of the Israelites and had seen their suffering in Egypt. God instructed Moses to go to Pharaoh, the ruler of Egypt, and demand the release of the Israelites. Despite the awe-inspiring encounter, Moses hesitates. He questions his worthiness and ability to lead the Israelites out of Egypt, expressing self-doubt and fear of rejection by his own people. However, God provides Moses with reassurance, promising his presence and assistance. He equips Moses with signs to prove his divine mission, such as turning his staff into a serpent and his hand becoming leprous and then healed. Despite God's assurances, still Moses was hesitant, citing his lack of eloquence as a barrier. In response, God appointed Aaron, Moses' brother, to be his spokesperson. Aaron would speak to Pharaoh on behalf of Moses. Moses inquires about God's name, anticipating the Israelites' demand for proof of his divine encounter. God reveals himself as I am who I am, a profound declaration of his eternal and self-existent nature, marking a pivotal moment in theological history. The name I am is considered a foundational concept in understanding God's nature and is still referenced in many religious teachings. Armed with God's promises and signs, Moses finally accepts his mission, setting the stage for the epic journey of leading the Israelites out of Egypt. God appoints Ed. He informed his father-in-law Jethro of his mission to return to Egypt, and with Jethro's blessing, he set out with his wife, Zipporah, and their son. Upon their arrival in Egypt, Moses and Aaron approached Pharaoh with God's message, "Let my people go." Pharaoh's initial response was one of defiance and disbelief. He refused to release the Israelites and even increased their burdens, making life harder for them. To demonstrate God's power and reinforce their message, Moses and Aaron performed several miraculous signs. These included turning Aaron's staff into a serpent and turning the Nile River into blood. Despite these demonstrations, Pharaoh's heart remained hardened and he continued to refuse the Israelites' freedom. In response to Pharaoh's stubbornness, God sent a series of 10 plagues upon Egypt. Each plague was a demonstration of divine power and a direct challenge to the Egyptian gods. The plagues included Water turned to blood frogs, gnats flies. Death of livestock, boils, hail, locust, darkness, debt H of the firstborn. These plagues progressively weakened Egypt and demonstrated God's resolve to liberate his people. As we conclude today's episode, we reflect on the historical significance of Moses and the burning bush. This event not only marked the beginning of Moses' journey as a leader, but also illustrated the transformative power of faith and divine guidance. If this video has been an inspiration to you, please subscribe and share and watch our videos to the end for a recap with questions and answers. We thank you in advance.
Thanks for staying with us. Let's get started with our Q&A. Are you ready? Question 1. What did Moses notice about the bush he saw in the wilderness? Answer. Moses noticed that the bush was on fire, but it was not consumed by the flames. This unusual sight caught his attention. Bible verse, Exodus 3:2. There the angel of the Lord appeared to him in flames of fire from within a bush. Moses saw that though the bush was on fire, it did not burn up. Question 2. How did God call out to Moses from the burning bush? Answer. God called out to Moses by name from the midst of the burning bush. Bible verse, Exodus 3:4. When the Lord saw that he had gone over to look, God called to him from within the bush, Moses, Moses, and Moses said, Here I am. Question number 3. What was the first instruction God gave to Moses? Answer. God instructed Moses to remove his sandals because the place where he was standing was holy ground. Bible verse, Exodus 3:5. Do not come any closer, God said. Take off your sandals, for the place where you are standing is holy ground. Question 4. How did God introduce himself to Moses? Answer. God introduced himself as the God of Moses' ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Bible verse, Exodus 3:6. Then he said, I am the God of your father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. At this, Moses hid his face because he was afraid to look at God. Okay, friends, we're halfway there. Are we still together? Are you still with us? Good. Let's keep going. Question 5. What mission did God assign to Moses at the burning bush? Answer. God assigned Moses the mission to go to Pharaoh and bring the Israelites out of Egypt. Bible verse Exodus 3:10. So now, go. I am sending you to Pharaoh to bring my people, the Israelites, out of Egypt. Okay, question 6. What was Moses' initial concern about going to Pharaoh, and how did God address it? Answer. Moses was concerned about his own inadequacy, questioning who he was to go to Pharaoh. God assured Moses that he would be with him. Bible verse, Exodus 3:11-12. But Moses said to God, Who am I that I should go to Pharaoh and bring the Israelites out of Egypt? And God said, I will be with you. And this will be the sign to you that it is I who have sent you. When you have brought the people out of Egypt, you will worship God on this mountain. Question 7. What name did God give Moses to use when the Israelites asked who sent him? Answer. God told Moses to tell the Israelites that I am had sent him. Bible verse, Exodus 3:14. God said to Moses, I am who I am. This is what you are to say to the Israelites. I am has sent me to you. How are y'all doing? Did you make it to question number 7? Okay, here's question number 8. What signs did God give Moses to prove his divine mission to the Israelites? Answer. God gave Moses several signs, turning his staff into a snake, making his hand leprous and then healing it, and turning water from the Nile into blood. Bible verse, Exodus 4:2-9. Then the Lord said to him, What is that in your hand? A staff, he replied. The Lord said, Throw it on the ground. Moses threw it on the ground, and it became a snake, and he ran from it. Question 9. Who did God appoint to help Moses speak to Pharaoh, and why? Answer. God appointed Aaron, Moses' brother, to help him speak because Moses expressed concern that he was not eloquent. Bible verse, Exodus 4:14-16. Then the Lord's anger burned against Moses, and he said, What about your brother, Aaron the Levite? I know he can speak well. He is already on his way to meet you, and he will be glad to see you. And finally, guys, question number 10. But first, we thank you all so much for watching and staying for this recap of our video. Don't forget to share, like, and follow. Here's number 10. Question 10. What did God tell Moses would happen before Pharaoh let the Israelites go? Answer. God told Moses that Pharaoh would not let the Israelites go easily, and that he would perform many wonders, including sending plagues, before Pharaoh would relent. Bible verse, Exodus 3:19-20. But I know that the king of Egypt will not let you go unless a mighty hand compels him. So I will stretch out my hand and strike the Egyptians with all the wonders that I will perform among them. After that, he will let you go.